Welcome to the Warriors Den. Hi, Damien. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm back. I'm okay. I had a vacation, and now I got this terrible cough. So anytime you make me laugh, I'm going to wheeze, and then I'm going to cough. So don't be funny on this show.
Okay, I will be very sad.
See? He's trying already. We got a fun show for you. Thank you for joining us. If you happen to be in the game, we put up a message telling people to come here because we're bringing the game down for our maintenance.
Yeah.
And that maintenance is happening right now. And what it's doing is it's pushing our live update, which I think you talked about last week on the show.
Yeah, and
a little bit.
Not in full detail, just about the shaman.
So the live update's happening right now. So the shaman, shaman update will be part of that. We'll have the full notes on the show if you haven't seen them. We did post them on Reddit and elsewhere, but
with Roman.
With Roman, get hype. So it's pushing the live update, but Damien, is it pushing anything else apart from the live update? Is there anything cool happening?
Maybe something ranked.
Dual ranked.
Maybe related to Dominion.
Oh, Dominion ranked.
Oh, yeah.
Is it time? The time has come
it's
for
time.
Dominion
Today,
ranked?
right now.
Wow. I think we've even got a picture to really celebrate the Dominion ranked mode being added to the game. Whenever you want to, there it is.
Woohoo! It's a picture of Dominion.
Yes.
with ranked written on it.
But it's got a logo
Congrats
now, too.
to the team.
The
yes,
logo
new logo.
Very minimalistic.
So just to come back on Ranked Dominion, it's not through the tournament format.
Right.
So it's Dominion matches.
Yes.
Where you get ranked, basically. We advise you to play in group, to play with your mates, because it's much easier to be good when you know with who you play, and when you can communicate with them. So yeah, super happy to have that as well.
So like you said, the clear thing, just in case you're used to our dual ranked, which is part of tournaments. This is not that. You're not going to be getting special extra rewards on top of your matches, but you will be getting ranked. And do you want to talk a little bit about how that ranking works? Is it somehow tied to the rank people already have in duel? These are separate?
It's a bit so it's a separate ranking. So you can play in dual rank and in the Dominion rank. They are both separate. Whatever you do in one doesn't impact the other one.
Okay.
You still have a ranking, an unranked period to get ranked, and then you can play and gradually get better on the ladders.
Okay.
So this is still true, same system, same ranking system as dual. But how the ranking works is that we take into account if you win or lose the match, but that's not the only thing that matters. It's also how well you performed in the match. So we rank you within the match. So for example, you could be in the losing team, but you could have done an amazing match. Mm-hmm. So then we compare yourself to the other players of the match. And you could, for example, finish second on the match, even if you are on the losing team.
Very cool.
It's just that you don't get the bonus of winning the match. And so this way, every match counts. Even a losing match counts. So if you did a really good match, you will still have a good rank in the end. So it's a balance between your performance and the team's performance. And you will see that at the end, on the end scoreboard, we show you, okay, you performed pretty well, so you finished second on the match, and you were on the winning team, so you have an extra win bonus, or you finished second on the match, but you were on the losing team, so you don't have a win bonus.
And that's good to note for people who might be pissed at their teammates, if their teammates are like me, that do not quit and say, this match is done, you can still rank up.
And if you quit, you still get rank penalty, so quitting is not a good idea.
Good transition.
Playing well is the best way to do, even if you have not a super good cohesive team. If you still do really well, you will be rewarded for that. And the reverse is true as well. If you're in a bad team, in a very good team, but you're playing super bad, you will have the win bonus, but you will have badly performed, so you will be boosted from the last position of the game, for example, so it won't boost you in a way. It's a good question from Roman Fromati that we have on the board, and it is a single picked.
Oh.
which is also new in Dominion.
Yes.
So we want to have more
Single
balanced
pick
matches.
meaning just for...
Single pick meaning you have only one hero. So it's team single pick. So it means that only one hero of each can be selected per
You and
team.
I could not be on the same team and both pick a Peacekeeper.
No for Shaman, no for Nobushi, no for... no for Kensei. Why not? So no, it's only one, and it's the first arrived, first served. So usual rules of the single pick rules. Same rules as a brawl, basically. So yeah, rank is a single pick. No stats, of course. So same same rules. No stats, no gear stats, and single pick.
Cool. So it's following a lot of the competitive.
It's getting
format.
serious.
Yes.
Getting serious.
For honor. Now it's serious.
Yeah, so same thing again as each time we push something new, send us feedback, tell us what you think is cool, what you think is not cool, so we can improve on those.
If you die in real life, if you lose your connection, if you lose your connection to the game, are you replaced by a bot or is that person just dead on your team? And then you're left.
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Damien, a curveball.
Yeah, I don't remember what we did in the end because we had many discussions on that. I think you're replaced by a bot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
And the bot's level is linked to the level of your skill.
We're going to have Maddie on the boards get us the answer over the course of the show.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know. Sorry for the curveball.
Matthew,
I just popped
your
in my
animation.
head.
No, and that's a good question because we had a lot of back and forth. We even discussed it with some players.
Yes, we did.
But we did that a long time ago, so I can't remember what
I
was
remember
the
that their
final
point of
decision.
view was they were a little bit indifferent.
Yeah.
This was before the level 3 bots were really introduced into the game, so they might be different now.
So I think it's wiki bots.
Yeah.
And I think we tolerate one disconnection, but only one.
Cool. Very cool stuff. And yes, the team will be watching, you know, like we have with the dual ranked, if you're not being ranked properly after a match, things like that, so they can adjust.
I think it's called Dominion Rank Beta for the same reason that
true.
we will do some tweaks on that season, on that aspect.
Cool. Well, I'm psyched about that, and I'm sure a good chunk of our players will be, because we do have a good competitive base of players that like Dominion.
Yeah.
You know, they've gravitated for duel for different reasons, but I'm happy that we're moving more and more into the 4v4 objectives. So that's very cool.
Me too.
Cool. And while we have you,
yes,
I wanted you to give an update as well. So we did a post on Reddit, a call for feedback.
Yeah.
It was.
That I asked you.
Yes. He came to my desk. He said, "What are people saying about these things?" And instead of me knowing people's answers, I just asked them. So we asked about how people felt about merging elimination and skirmish into a single playlist.
Yeah.
And we also asked about the bot difficulty, because now that the level 3 bots are in the game, how are people feeling? So start with the playlist stuff.
So playlist stuff, we had a pretty good feedback. I think we'll leave it that way, but it allowed us to spot some issues, like the join in progress at the end flow issue that I didn't thought about. So right now we have a bug in the map vote designs that if nobody votes, the mod could switch randomly, which is not as designed. And that could happen in the end flow. So if you join a match, even if I said I don't want to have any relaxation, I want to play in elimination, you will join an elimination match. But if the elimination match is at the end, you could have the people voting for skirmish or the random vote being on skirmish, and then you're screwed.
You're sort of stuck there.
So that's a good point. In fact, we have 2 improvements on that area. So we want to remove the randomness on the modes. So the auto selection should never be on a different mode. And we want to add a map/mod vote on the end flow for the people who join in progress. So that even if you join a match at the end, that you can still select the next map or the next mode, I think would be very beneficial. I don't know when we will be able to do those. For example, the map vote at the end flow is done by one of the guys working on the dedicated server. So we won't have
priorities.
Priorities. We won't have that right away, but it's spotted in things we want to fix as soon as we can to help when we want to merge more modes together.
Very cool. And on
And
the
for
bot
the bot
difficulty,
difficulty, also very, very interesting feedback. In fact, it's the subject that raised the most feedbacks on
yes,
your post.
for sure.
Basically, we have PvP players are pretty happy to have level 3 bots. I think the threshold right now is good, so they're not complaining about. So it's level 3 bots when there were good players leaving, so I think that works well. For PvAI, there is a debate. Some players like the new challenge in PvAI. Some players dislike it because they prefer to use PvAI as a farming tool in a way, as an optimization of their XP gathering.
We'll say farming as a word for the bad people.
which is a valid point. So I think what we need to do as a next step is to have different ways to attribute bots in PvAI than in PvP. Right now, those are the same rules, but it's not something we can change easily. But again, it's an improvement that we will do, that we identified with the team. So
Cool.
It's a good next step. So thank you for all of that. Really, it created some gyras in our database and stuff we want to work on at one point when we have time for those.
Yeah, and on the bots thing, keep your feedback coming. It's actually kind of cool. It's one of the cool things, like I always like about our team, is one of our bot designers is almost daily he'll send me a link. He's like, people are saying this here. What can you respond to this guy and say? So our devs are always very involved in your feedback, whether you get to see them doing it or not. It's sort of routed through me, but keep up the feedback. We like to see it, and not just me, but all these folks in the room.
So in the end, I don't think we'll change the parameters or the thresholds. I think they're at the right spot. Now the changes need new developments, and that will come later on.
Okay, cool. So kind of back in the Dominion vein, we have an event order this week that is
to
a
celebrate
Dominion
the Dominion,
right?
Of course.
So let's toss that image up. It's called the Dominion Slayer event. As a community, perform as many takedowns as you can in PvP and PvAI, and the reward
and ranked.
And ranked, yes. Oh man, yeah. Why isn't that on? 2 scavenger crates. So that starts on the 1st and goes through the 4th. So enjoy your crates.
It's to celebrate St. Nicholas. No, it's the 6th December. We could say that. Do you know the story
in North
of St.
America,
Nicholas?
none of us know what you're talking about.
It's a very German thing.
Is that he puts the little children in his bag and steals them?
It's they celebrate on the 6th December and you get chocolates,
I'm thinking of Krampus.
Or candies.
Yes.
But you have a bad guy in that story.
Yeah, Krampus, right?
I think it's Krampus, and he. If you don't get the chocolate, he
flogs you.
Yeah, he flogs you.
And then he steals you in his bag and takes you away.
Yeah.
It's terrible. What are you Europeans doing with your folk tales? Nightmares.
It's either that or candies.
Do you know Quebec has their own Christmas? It's like a Christmas fairy, and she's nice, and she doesn't kidnap anyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quebec are nice people. Yeah.
Yes. So enjoy your Krampus event, everybody. And now we have returned to our content of the week flow. So we had a couple of weeks after the launch of the season where we're letting people kind of work through all the content in the season, and now we're back to weekly releases for content of the week. So. We'll check that out, unless you have anything last you want to say before we transition away.
You can transition
away. Okay, thank you. So we'll check that out, and then we're actually going to be back with Bio to talk about the faction war. we've got Biojad back on the show. I don't know why. I felt like the wrestling back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, they do that a lot. Welcome back to the show.
Hi.
We have just completed just completed the first campaign.
Thank you very much.
Of this season of the Faction War. Before we get into it, Maddie was able during that break to talk to one of our designers, Mr. Kermak Polewska, about the bot question. So in ranked Dominion, if you drop for whatever reason, you are replaced by a bot, following the standard bot replacement rules that Damien talked about before. So there you go. Thank you, Kermak, for talking to us on your lunch break.
I think it's better.
And thank you, Maddie, for doing my bidding that I made you do just by saying you were going to do it, even though I didn't ask you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, let's get to the fun stuff. So the Faction War went through a lot of changes this season, actually, which we talked about with you before. And this has been the first.
I had a PowerPoint.
You did. You did. People love PowerPoint. This is the first full campaign, which used to be called the Round, with those new changes.
Yes.
And actually, before we get into it, we have
There's a lot of fingers today. It's just like a lot of pointing.
And one more thing. We actually have an infomercial about the Faction War, about all the new features of the Faction War, an infomercial from your favorite content creator and mine, Setback. Let's check it out.
Hey you, tired of deploying boring old war assets? Sick of not being told exactly where to deploy your troops? Does the constant doubt of the faction war being rigged drive you to the drink? Hey, Don McGrath here, bringing you the exciting and raw power of the new Faction War. It's finally here, Faction War Season 4. Wow. Wow indeed. Let's jump in. Out with the old and in with the troops. That's right, no more sugarcoating it. You are now dropping living and breathing troops into hostile enemy territory. Oops. Marines, loved ones, you name it, they got it. Better win the current round or little Johnny Viking is gonna get a sad letter in the mail. But wait, there's so much more. Introducing the new hotspots. Now, any of your favorite geometric shapes can be as hot and volatile as the Deus Volcano.
I'm Pickle Rick.
Can't think it'd be really valuable if you master all of
very
these tools.
strong.
Callum, 4 seasons of intense, illegally sensual, banned from college campus, faction war action. You may laugh, but only badass dudes will report on the faction war without their pants. Take it from me, I've done extensive research on this bulge. Oh, but none of that really matters. What matters is you deploying your troops. Yes, you can decide the exciting conclusion of Season 4 of the Faction War. Hope you're deploying your troops, because I am.
What a nightmare.
I couldn't have done better. It's great. I have nothing more to say.
Thank you for that, Setback. I was very happy to see such a terrible piece of content come into our life. I asked him, maybe think about doing a Faction War thing. And oh, he did. He definitely did.
Glorious. I feel so proud.
We do need to work on his accents. He started off as sounding very Russian. I think he was trying to do Scottish, but we'll work on it. Now, we can actually get into the content of this piece. Tell us about this campaign, because I'm psyched, you're psyched.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are
Very
psyched
psyched.
because we've had a winner that has not been out in front for quite a while.
Yeah, we did. So the Viking won
Yes.
this campaign.
They did.
And pretty decisively, decisively,
They
sorry.
crushed
They
it.
crushed, they won 25 battle out of 31.
My God.
This campaign. So it's kind of extreme. However, they only had more troops for 16 of those. So we did a lot of digging, making sure that the new rules did not break anything in the formulas and how it's work. We work on our rigging algorithm to make sure that it was super rigged. After doing all that investigation, we had a lot of numbers and values and data, but I will not just drum few numbers here. But what was the most meaningful is that in the end, the Vikings and the Knights, because the Samurai just did bad. It just did bad.
Yeah, not a
last
great
campaign.
showing from the Samurai.
Yeah, no, not great. So what we isolated as a variable that was very decisive is that the Vikings, with the War Banner or manually, they deployed 53% of their troops, while it's below 50% for all the other factions.
I feel like that's a common theme in the winners that we've found.
Yeah, because if you play the game, you win the game. Kind of obvious.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Also, some details that we saw that each player generated more troops, so that means that they performed well in matches.
Okay, so on a per player basis.
Yeah, per player. Because our ponderation, because as you know, the amount of war assets generated depends on the amount of people in that faction. By the way, it's changed every week, so we continue going with the active players, not players since the launch, because that changes a lot. But the better you perform, the more troops you will generate.
Yeah, that was the first thing I asked you. I was like, did everyone just move to the Vikings after the season?
It wouldn't change anything after a few days because we keep updating the formula.
Right.
So if people move, it changes the ponderation anyways.
Right. Cool. And I think we
Well, I want to show some details,
Yeah.
however, about what happened and why the Knights played bad. So since it's new, I'm sorry, Knights people. I'm very sorry. So maybe we can go to
Yes.
the updated web tool that we have. You can see that we are starting. It's not done. We still show war assets, which is sad. But we are now showing the deltas on the territories and giving more details. So this is last campaign, the first campaign, and we can see here that the Knights had a big chance. They had an occasion to come back.
yeah.
So we crunched the data to see what happened, and we look at the territories, and we realized that the Samurai and the Knights spent most of their troops between each other. That allowed the Vikings to come back like crazy around the 15th battle. So they chose their enemies poorly in that situation. And I have a few battles that I isolated to show you people the impact of the new delta that we show. So in that battle 24, we see here the Vikings, they end up keeping that territory by 1K.
Wow.
So that's 1,000 troops.
A single person could have taken that territory.
Well, actually, in one match you can, because we have people that can generate 1,100 troops in one match. The average is 650 troops in one match.
Okay.
So, and here we have 39K. So, Samurai's bad decisions were made here. Very bad decisions were made, and here also. So we have the same thing that happens many times, like in the 22nd battle, you can see all those numbers here are very small. And keep in mind, 1 million is almost nothing because we have about 20 million troops per faction on a territory at the end of a battle. That means 1 million is 1.6% of the troops being deployed. So you can do it. You can do it, people. do not give up and try to win those 1K battles because now you can see them.
Yes, exactly. And it just makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference, and you can, in one night, you can switch a territory with you and your friends and play a couple of dominant matches together, and you can really have an impact on it. Each game counts.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like the fact that now that we can see the delta, we can retro-engineer and see exactly what happened and where the decisions could have been taken differently, and how the hotspots come into play in this. So I think the improvement works well on that thing of giving more clarity, and I hope people feel the same thing. And just a little update on this.
Yes.
Right now, the Samurais are controlling the volcano, so this is a dire situation.
We can take it back. We can do this.
Yeah, we can. We
I don't know if the Knights
Vikings.
can, but
The
we can.
Vikings had it for. Now the Knights right now are like 10
Pretty-
territories.
Pretty bad.
It's going pretty bad. Pretty bad. And lastly, I wanted to maybe talk about the XP Fest that we just had.
So your team doesn't only do the faction war.
No, we don't. It's not the only
You don't
thing
only
we do.
rig the faction war every day.
But the rigging is a lot of work. Huh? I get to work every morning. I start my rigging algorithms, and then I rig the whole day.
You got a degree in rigging, right? You went to college for rigging.
Yes, absolutely, which is accounting, I think.
Yes, actuary.
I'm sorry. White collar jokes. So, yeah, the XP Fest. So I took numbers because I thought people would like...
People like numbers.
Yeah, I do. So I'm an accountant.
Right.
I'm not. So in the XP Fest, we're generated on top of the normal XP a bit above 42 million XPs. So it's 42 million free XP that came from Odin or whatever the names of the other gods are. And that means about 1,300 new levels that were given and generated from that XP Fest.
Damn.
Yeah, and we saw your petition on Reddit about having more XP. We saw it, and we already are working on multiple different features that will come up, and one of them is coming very soon. I'm super excited about it. So really what we want to do is give you more agency, not just change the numbers. So that's why we are going the way of creating features that you can use as players instead of just
tweaking
numbers
behind the scenes,
and us having all the power.
Yeah.
It's not what we like.
Putting
We're
the power
giving you
in
the
their
power.
hands.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, and I also saw a question, comments about Duel not giving as much XP as other modes. I will repeat it, is because the amount of XP is based on the duration of the mode.
Right, how long it takes to complete.
Yeah, and if you play PvAI, you also have less. So if you play PvP, you have more XP, and if you play a mode, any mode, you should generate the same amount of XP per hour. Of course, if you're super good or you're super bad, it will have impact, but it's based on the average time that the whole community takes to complete one of those modes. So we ponderate the XP with that.
Cool. Wonderful. Thank you as always. You'll have you back in 2 more weeks probably.
Next campaign.
Yes, at the end of this
good
campaign.
for the samurai, this one.
Good luck, samurai, and knights. Knights, you need to get out of the hole that you're in.
Damien is so happy.
Damien needs a win. All right, thank you very much as always.
Thank you.
We're going to come back with Damien and Roman to talk about the live update.
Someone's in a good mood.
Can we get Roman on the camera, please? Max. Roman is here, believe it or not, guys. Hey-o! Roman, what did you think of Setback's video? I was watching your face during it, and I wouldn't classify it as smiling or laughter. So what did you think of that?
I was smiling.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool.
Amazing. Amazing. I was trying to put him on the spot. Setback, I love you.
Stop bullying him.
I know. It's just our relationship. It's just how we do. So we have patch notes. Did you know this? We do. We have patch notes.
And in fact, we have one for each person.
That's true. We have patch notes for the live update that is happening right now. I don't know if it's completed or not. It was told it should take 45 minutes or so it might not be done yet. And we also have patch notes for something else. Let's do the live update first, though.
Yeah.
And it's all Roman because it's all fight stuff. So you talked about the shaman last week, yeah?
And here we'll go back.
We can go back on it again, though, because not everyone watches
So,
the show.
like we said last week, on Shaman, there is 2 things that we're doing. There is some adjustments in terms of damage timing that are going to go live with that patch this week. And there is a modification that we're making on the tracking of all our dodge move, whether it's the wildcat stuff or the Predator Hunger and Predator Mercy. Currently, those moves are too hard to dodge. They track you too much when you're dodging. But that requires a modification that won't be live this week. So that will be changed in the next patch. Not in this patch, in the one coming after. But so what did we change for this patch for the Shaman? So we've reduced the damage of Wildcat's Rage, Wildcat Swiftness, Wildcat's Pounce, and from 25 to 20. So now all those 3 moves do only 20 points of damage. We also reduced the damage of our basic opener. Used to be 33. Now it's 27. So why we tweaked it like that? It's because during the whole development of the Shaman, we were still playing with HP regen on, and we needed those moves to be killer moves. And so that's why they were having that type of numbers in terms of damage. Now that is gone, we think we can lower a little bit this damage. And, it will bring her a little bit more in line with what was intended with those moves. Also, we've increased the recovery of the Wildcat's Rage hit. It used to be 700 milliseconds. Now it's going to be 1 second. And it moves forward 0.5 meter more. Also, with the Wildcat's Rage normal block recoveries have been increased also. Used to be 700 milliseconds. Now it's going to be 800 milliseconds. Basically, the intention is that the Shaman will not be unable to perform this move and then immediately dodge back to do it again, because now your opponent can now beat that with a guard break. That's the intention.
Cool.
And last thing that is in that patch for the Shaman is she can no longer switch targets during the running portion of Wildcat's Rage, Predator Anger, and Predator Mercy. Before, she was able to start running at one target, then whip around and actually attack a different target. This is no longer possible. So those are the change for this week.
Great.
Next patch, this one, the one after, we will be fixing the tracking issues. And we will continue to monitor our win-loss ratio and your feedback, guys, the perception of the guys on Discord, the perception of the guys on Reddit, and any feedback that we receive to see if we need to do more or if that is okay.
Cool.
But definitely the dodging stuff is a pain in the ass, and we are fixing it. Also, so some other character got some slight adjustments. The Peacekeeper PK's an attack cancel recovery timing has been increased by 200 milliseconds. So now when you cancel your as an attack, it takes a little bit longer because it's one of the fastest attack in the game, and the second part could be cancelled immediately, and that was leading to some infinite combos in Revenge. So that should be gone. Also, there was another bug on the PK related to a guard break. So basically, in the game, when you counter a guard break, when you take a guard break, the person countering the guard break gets the damage filter. So for the whole duration of your counter guard break move, you take less damage. That's really useful in a group fight scenario, etc. So that's true for all the characters, but it was not true for the guard break of the Peacekeeper. So now that's fixed. So basically, now if you counter guard break a Peacekeeper and you get hit during your counter guard break animation, you're going to take less damage, just like if you were countering the guard break of any other character.
Cool.
So a little bit less good in group fight. Valkyrie, we've resolved the issue that would cause the shoulder pin to be sometimes blocked in situation where it shouldn't.
Yep.
Like, for example, with the Nobushi Light attack, if you deflect and try to do a shoulder pin on the Nobushi Light attack, she would manage to block it. So that should not be the case anymore. Shugoki, we've resolved an issue that was causing the range of the Demon Embrace to be shorter than expected.
Yep.
So thank you, guys.
We saw that pretty quickly after we released the new.
It was identified by you in the community. We did not saw that.
Yep.
It was an unintentional change, and so that should be back to where it's supposed to be.
Cool.
And Gladiator, we resolved an issue with the Gladiator. Basically, when you were throwing your opponent against the wall, you could also be bumped by that reaction. So that should not, and so don't take advantage of what you just did. So that should not be the case anymore. And Aramusha, we've resolved a small bug on the Aramusha, an issue that was causing the ring the bell move to not be interrupted correctly when the Aramusha is it while performing it.
Cool.
So, no, that should be fixed. And that's it for that patch.
Cool. And pretty cool for a live update, because you know the live updates don't involve code changes. That's why sometimes we say things have to wait for the next patch, which is usually a code patch. So they're able to do a
More
lot
things
with that one.
in the next patch. So in the code patch, there will be
Yep.
many other things.
Very cool. So we've got another cool thing for you Xbox players out there.
Yeah.
If you happen to be thinking about picking up the Scorpio, or the Xbox One X as it's officially called, we've got a For Honor on there.
Oh yeah. So we're compatible Xbox One X, of course, and we did some improvements on the game for the Xbox One X, like we did for the PS4 Pro.
It looks amazing.
Those are not the same improvements though. So the game is rendered in 4K. It's fluctuating, but it can be rendered in 4K. We're using a real-time variable resolution coupled with hardware scaling for the TV output. And with that rendering, it's also makes the picture sharper on 4K TVs, of course, but it's also the case on full
Standard
HD TVs.
HD.
Yeah, because we render full scale, then we downscale it for the full HD version. And on not on the realization, but on the graphics itself, the shadows have a better definition. We've also improved the level of detail on the distance, so you see more object and more definition on the background or not the forefront. And we improved a lot the water reflection. So now we have a dynamic reflection on the water. It's super cool, in fact.
Screen space reflection.
And and all of that all together make the picture more dense with more details and more sharper. So it's the Xbox One X version is really cool. I hope we will show it.
Yes.
But it's really cool.
Yes, the team's working on a trailer right now to actually kind of show you the differences side by side. So look for that soon.
We use many of the cool stuff that we did on PC and adapted it for Xbox One X, and the team did a great job. It's really impressive.
Before you ask, because I'm sure there's already someone asking in the chat, it does not change the frame rate of the game to 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I know someone's going to ask, because they always ask. Sorry. Just wanted to get ahead of it.
It's a good point.
Cool. Guys, that's it for patch notes.
That's it for patch notes.
You guys both have meetings you've got to run to?
Yes, we need
Yes.
food and a meeting in 20 minutes, in fact. It will be tight.
Get yourself
Go
a
eat
sandwich.
somewhere and come back.
Thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week, probably with at least one of you, if not both of you. But don't go. We still have Community Corner, tons of fun videos from the community that you don't want to miss. So we'll be back with that in a couple seconds while these guys take off. Thanks.
You guys.
See you next week.
Oh, hi, it's me again. Yeah, bring it in. Bring it in. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Setback, how are you doing? We're friends. I love you. Hey, so we've got some videos to check out this week, and we're going to roll right into it. I don't think we have any GIFs this week, Max.
No GIFs.
No GIFs, Chief. So all videos with sound, so you don't need to hear me try to attempt commentary during them. So let's let's done my glass right into it. And this first video is called Done My Glass by Crexes on Reddit.
Cool view. Like
What?
Hogwarts or some shit.
The triangle?
Yeah. The big boy tactical view map looks so fucking cool.
Done my glass.
Dude, I look like a pretty princess with this TR on, boy.
You saw that?
Crexus, what did you do?
Amazing. It's like a Friday the 13th movie where Jason just walks and they're always running from him, and he just walks and always catches up and kills them. Very good. Okay, from War Kitty on YouTube, we have, this person reached out to me directly on Twitter. I didn't see what the big deal was until we get to the very end. So the Conqueror triumphs over all pagans. Getting the double kill. I don't know what that gladiator was trying to do, but it did not. I mean, the centurion, but it did not work out. Havoc, our old friend Havoc, has returned with another edgy montage. This is edgy montage number 8, the Shaman. Little music shout out there. Sweet dubstep, bro. Thank you, Havoc. That was great, as always. This one, we'll probably play it a couple times because it's pretty quick. This is from Jay Corella, My Luckiest Trap Placement. It's super good, super good. Super Jim Jims on Reddit This is called Just Take a Leap of Faith.
You can do anything! Anything's possible! The world is yours!
Shit.
Extra points for a Key and Peele reference there. That was amazing. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but the video was good. Salty Sea Dog on Reddit has done the Nick of Time Shinobi video.
Victory!
Pretty dope. And Awat1100 on Reddit. I did a thing, but it wasn't a good thing.
Oh my god! I'm not even mad. That was so fucking funny. Oh my god.
I want that man's laugh. It's very jolly and mischievous. Okay, our last video. This is for all the Valks out there. From the Kingslayer on YouTube. It's a Valkyrie 1v9 epic fight. It's a bit long, but it's a pretty badass bit of Valkyrie gameplay. Check it out.
Sudden death. You captured Zone A.
just incredible. Say what you will about that Valkyrie's opponents, like going from the orange team breaking to her being the only one left to fighting them all off for multiple minutes to them breaking, then to killing them all is just crazy. So that was, I can't imagine what the Kingslayer felt like after completing that. It probably felt like a god. But thank you for that. As always, thank you for posting your videos on Reddit or sending them to me. We love to watch them. They are always entertaining and sometimes inspiring. And sometimes you have videos from Setback too. So next week we'll be back. Before we go, I will say the game is back up. You can go enjoy the changes to the Shaman and check out Ranked Dominion mode. And we're going to do a raffle right now. Fred in the chat will start the raffle. We're going to be giving away 5 combat packs. So join in, and we will see you next week on the show. Thank you.